Welcome to Solve for Tomorrow, a global social responsibility initiative by Samsung Electronics. Today, we are going to take your idea to the next level and transform it into a stronger, more professional proposal. What you see on screen are the stages of the program. We begin with inspiration, where we provide training for teachers across the region. We then move on to ideation, guiding students with the support of coaching, mentoring, and assistance throughout the idea submission process. At present, we are in the co-creation stage, where we will work together to strengthen each proposal in order to advance to the next phase.
Before improving our projects, we need to look back and ask ourselves, what did we do in Proposal 1.0? That initial proposal came out of the ideation stage. There, we described the problem, who it affected, our idea for a solution, and how we thought it would make a difference. In the co-creation phase, we don't start from scratch. What we do is take that first version and evaluate it critically. What was well explained? What was missing? What can be improved? Our challenge now is to transform that idea into a much clearer proposal, with data, evidence, and a much stronger plan. To better understand how a Proposal 1.0 works, let's review an example: the School Breakfast Club. This example started from a clear problem. Many students were arriving to class without breakfast, which affected their concentration and performance. The solution idea was simple: create a breakfast club every Monday. Each student who signed up would bring something simple, like fruit or bread, and with the help of an app, the turns would be organized. The expected impact was that students would start the week with more energy, more focus, and a sense of companionship. This case will serve as a reference to see how a Proposal 1.0 can evolve into a stronger Proposal 2.0 during this co-creation stage. Now let's look at how this original proposal was evaluated. Impact. It was recognized that the problem was well explained. Students without breakfast perform worse in class. But it was also noted that there was no concrete data or evidence to support the impact. Originality and innovation. It was valued as a collaborative idea that included the use of an app, but it was also observed that it wasn't revolutionary, rather a creative solution within the school context. Feasibility and sustainability. It was acknowledged as feasible in the short term, since it depended on student contributions, but it lacked a clear long-term plan. Use of STEM. The app was mentioned, but only in a very basic way. Science, technology, engineering, or mathematics were not deeply integrated. Thoughtful. This leads us to a conclusion. It was a solid proposal for the ideation stage, but to move forward in co-creation, we need more evidence, greater differentiation, and a much more strategic use of STEM. When we sum up the original proposal, we can clearly see both its strengths and weaknesses. Strengths. The problem was clear, the benefits were well explained, it was participatory, and it seemed feasible to carry out in the short term. Weaknesses. There were no data or evidence to support the impact. The innovative element was limited, and STEM was used only in a very superficial way. In conclusion, it was a good proposal for the ideation stage, but if we want to move into co-creation, we need stronger evidence, a more innovative approach, and a complete implementation plan. And that's exactly what we'll learn today: how to take your proposal to the next level.
Now we're going to take it one step further, connecting our ideas with the Sustainable Development Goals.
Our inspiration is based on the Sustainable Development Goals, SDGs, which address key global challenges such as poverty reduction, zero hunger, good health and well-being, quality education, gender equality, clean water and sanitation, affordable and clean energy, decent work and economic growth, industry, innovation and infrastructure, sustainable cities and communities, responsible consumption and production, climate action, life on land, peace, justice, and strong institutions, and partnerships to achieve these goals. For example, if your proposal or solution addresses environmental issues, it would be impacting SDGs 7, 12, 13, 14, and 15. And if it is related to education, it would be contributing to SDGs 4, 5, and 10.
Welcome to the Improved Proposal 2.0. Here, we will be looking at examples of how our proposal should be improved. We'll walk through different slides and tools that will allow us to take our proposal to the next level. With our first question, we started with in Proposal 1.0, what problem do you want to solve? We found a rather short answer, a proposal that didn't give us much information and left us, let's say, with many questions. Our goal in this co-creation stage of Proposal 2.0 is to have clearer information. We must include statistics. We must mention how many students will benefit, and we need to identify which metrics to include. As we can see in our second example, we are now including the number of students who benefit, percentages, and also how we align with the SDGs. In this case, we see alignment with SDG 2, Zero Hunger, and SDG 4, Quality Education. By having these improvements in our proposal, we are ensuring higher quality. And we continue with our examples of how to improve our proposal and reach version 2.0. If we look closely, in this example, our first proposal is quite short and contains little information. What we want is that in our proposal 2.0, we include more details so that everything is much clearer. And when the jury or whoever is evaluating these proposals reads it, they have a better understanding of our problem. We can see the number of students who benefit or the kids who will be impacted. What we are always aiming for, guys, is to expand the information in our proposals. Let's continue with the examples of how to take our proposal to version 2.0. As we can see, we began with an initial proposal of a breakfast club that would run every Monday and be managed through an app. What we want with our solution in version 2.0 is to complete the information. In this example, the nutritious breakfast club will not only run on Mondays, but twice a week. We will implement an app that will allow us to organize shifts for preparation and service. It will also let us monitor attendance and consumption, and see statistics on focus and participation. This is very important so that when you are improving your proposal, you include all these differentiations from version 1.0 to 2.0, giving us broader and clearer information. So always keep these aspects in mind when working on your proposal 2.0. As we can see, the main goal is that our proposal grows and evolves. Here we have another clear example of how our proposal 1.0 started and what our proposal 2.0 should look like. This shows us the difference it can make in our solution. In the first version, the example was very short. It said it would help students start their school day with energy, but it didn't give us much information. So, what we want with our proposal 2.0 is to make it clear that we are going to benefit 120 students who will begin their day with more energy. Also, we are aligning with what is most important about this program, the use of STEM. Here, we must demonstrate how our idea incorporates STEM. In this example, we include balanced menus, which highlights the science aspect. Managing and digitizing the program involves technology and engineering. For analyzing attendance and performance data, we are including mathematics. As you can see, here we included the use of STEM in a clear and accessible way. And you must always keep this in mind when upgrading your proposal to version 2.0. Guys, this is also very important. Here we need to describe the experience of working as a team. You must also write this down, explaining what each person contributed to the proposal, how each one participated, integrated and implemented their ideas in this improved version. Here we have a very simple example of how you can present each member's participation in enhancing your proposal. Please keep this in mind and also include your teacher. Remember, your teacher is also an essential and important part of your team. So when you describe each member's participation, don't forget to include your teacher. Here's an example of how you can do it. Here, I present another example of how we can do a quick analysis of our proposal. In the tools we'll be sharing with you, you'll have this template. This template will allow you to easily and quickly evaluate how much impact, originality, and innovation, viability, and sustainability your proposal has, how you will implement STEM, and how important communication and teamwork will be. With this template, you can outline all of that in a simple and clear way. Here's a straightforward example of how to use it. I hope you take advantage of it in the best possible way. As you can see, we are providing a variety of tools that will allow you to successfully take your proposal from version 1.0 to 2.0. This template will let you analyze your improved proposal. You'll be able to see the strengths, the weaknesses, and have a clear conclusion about your proposal overall. This tool is essential and practical so that you can quickly evaluate how much your proposal has improved. Well guys, I hope all this information is very helpful for you and that all these tools we've shared support you in taking your proposal to the next level. It has truly been a great pleasure and joy to share all this knowledge with you. I hope it's of great benefit and that you apply it in the best possible way. Best of luck, and I look forward to seeing you in the next stage of the program.
Let me introduce you to JBot, an artificial intelligence created especially for Solve for Tomorrow, designed to help you improve your proposal.
We appreciate your participation in this co-creation stage. Remember that every step strengthens your proposal and brings you closer to creating a positive impact in your community. Wishing you success in the next phase of Solve for Tomorrow.